Well, greetings. I'm Miranda's dad, Boris Robinson, and what a great day. And I'm just so honored to be with everyone here today. And first thing I'd like to say how beautiful all the ladies, women look, and how handsome the man is. Well. And I don't even want to look over at Devin Pacifica because I know you look like this. Thank you. A few quick things. Well, this day's about Lane and Miranda, but it was also about you. And she wanted a quaint wedding, and she wanted to have everyone here that was intimately involved in their life and their relationship. And I think she did a good job with that. Two quick definitions I'm going to use. One is Mitake wa Yosan. We're all related. It's Lakota. And the other one is a Polish word. It's stolat. It's for toasting. It means 100 years. Real quickly, I know there's a lot of people that aren't here that could have been or should have been from the past. And I'm actually wearing my dad's cufflinks. And I'm speaking to people that are close to you, but they're here because where they go, you go. And so let's move on to this little promise that happened today. This started when I first met Miranda in '94, and I wasn't actually the first one. It was, where's Brenda? Brenda beat me to it because I was on the wrong breathing. I was doing the wrong breathing apparatus, and I had to take a break. When Miranda was little, we were in Salt Lake, and I used to drag her down this coffee shop in a wagon. And we'd get down there, and I looked around, they had little trees, and I started cutting all the trees. And every year I'd take my stuff down there, Miranda would get excited and wanted to be part of it. And one time I cut my hand, and I blamed on her because she was on her foot. And throughout the years, throughout the times going down this coffee shop, she graduated from me pulling her in a wagon to riding a little bike. And one day, I wasn't watching carefully, and she fell off this bike really hard. And I felt bad, but she was really hurt, crying. And throughout the days, we'd go back to that spot, and I'd look at her, and she'd have a sad face on because I got to go back to where this trauma happened. And we'd pick up this little pink bell or horn she had, little pieces. And throughout the months and days, every time we went back there, that little sad frown face became happy because she went back and revisited it. And she told me once, she said, "Dad, you know why I love you? Because you tell me things. And you also let me put my hand out the window." So after we left Salt Lake City, we moved to Rapid. And the same people that are here today, Miranda's friends, the Fab Five, Tessa, raise your hand, Tessa, Callie, Sammy, and Maddie. What a great group. They probably went some wine that they'd taken. From there, Miranda moved to North Dakota. And she had a great friends and family there. And I think the Nodak group's right over here. Here they are. And she had a, special family there. Toby and Kim, Marlon and Lori. And Lori, they kind of looked after her and raised her. But during her travels back and forth through school, one day she had these dark sunglasses on. And I said, she was crying. And she said, "Dad, I'm just tired of being sad." And I said, "What's wrong?" "There's boy problems." And I just felt bad because I knew I could help her. Thought this is out of my league now. But then along came Lane. And people used to ask me, they said, well, how do you like Miranda's boyfriend, Lane, and all that? I said, you know, I like him. He reminds me of my older brother. He's very calm, he's above the fray, just a good guy. I mean, you can tell. I mean, look at his vowels there. But it wasn't always that way, you know. And Miranda had to remind me that. She said, Dad, remember when Lane had no place to stay because his parents had rented out the house and he had work in the morning, and she called me up and she said, Dad, can Lane come over and stay the night? He'll sleep on the couch and all this. And I said, yeah, sure, Bugs. But I didn't know we had a couch outside. And so, you know, going back to that tree that Miranda and I used to cut, and I go back to this little coffee shop that's in Salt Lake, and I look at how those trees are so beautiful, and people sit in that shade today. And that's very similar to the relationship how they've built. And it's part of everyone here that's groomed that relationship and made them into this today. And that's what I like to say. It's mitakiwe-san. It's because we're all related. And going in the future, Miranda, if you fall off that little bike again, you'll have Lane to pick you up. Go back to that place and heal. He's the one that's going to tell you new things. And maybe it's because I let you stick that hand out the window that you could capture the spirit of someone like Lane. And this all starts from more of a foundation. It starts from some elderly people. Gretchen's mom, Bushaw Joe from Tennessee. Lane's grandmother, Mickey. My mom, Gloria Munchi. But also Cindy and Mrs. Robinson, Kukukuchu. And their great parents, Todd and Ray. And there's one thing that could, a quote or something that can maybe put this forward is, it's from Loggins Messina. It's that Daniel song. And it's, here's to the girl that holds the world in a paper cup. Drink it up. Love her, and she'll bring you luck. And congratulations to Lane and Miranda, and I finally have a son.
Okay, I have to fall. All right, and I have to, otherwise I'll forget. I have to have some cheat notes here. But first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming to this special day, and such a blessing. Today is such a great blessing. It's about time, you guys. Right? And actually, we're so glad that we got to be a part of the engagement part on our vacation. That was wonderful. So anyhow, what a blessing today is. And I'm honored and blessed to call you my son, and that I get to be called Mama by you. You're an amazing, an amazing person. You really are, Lane Jordan. And I love you so much. I'm just privileged that I got to grow and be a part of all of that. It was wonderful. And people always ask when you have kids and they're small, what's the best year of them, you know, did you love them when they were babies? Did you love them? Whatever. I said, you know, every year is more amazing than when they were, just as they're growing. It's just the new things that they do, that they get involved in, and just become more proud of them every year. And that's how I feel about all my kids, but especially Lane, because he was my firstborn. So, you're amazing. And I just want to just say that it's easy and tempting for me to take all the credit for the amazing man he is, but it's special people out there, you guys, that have influenced him as well, and the people that are in heaven, big influence on you as well. So I can't take all the credit for him growing up to be the amazing person that he is. And especially Miranda. She brings out the best qualities in him. She does. And, you know, and she's had lots of time to be with him, 7 years, right? 7-ish years. And I've just seen him grow more confident in himself and just a better person because of her, too. So thank you, Miranda. Yes, we love you so much. I'm so glad I can finally have a daughter. Right? Yes, right. Let me look at my notes here. You know, I just want to wish both of you nothing but happiness, success, and endless love. And that's another thing that Miranda was able to show Lane, is how to love someone. He'd always ask me, how do you know, Mom? How do you know that the girl is for you? And I said, it'll be in your heart. You'll know. You'll know. And he knew. Yep, right. Okay, so I just want to end this with a prayer. And this is one of my favorite. I have it in my kitchen. And you guys probably know this too. Now may the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Amen. And Lane Jordan, olive juice, buddy. Olive juice. Okay. So Lane and Miranda.
Hello, everybody. As Carly said, I am Lane Quinn's dad, and proud of that. Lane and Miranda Quinn. Kaylee and I are very happy for you. We're excited for you, for this life you're going to start. We'll start with Lane. Lane, my little buddy. That's what he was to me. He'd look at me when he was young, 2, 3 years old. He'd be like, Dad, you want to play Hot Wheels? Sure or no? Do I really have a choice? No, I don't want to. Yes, I'll play with you. Well, Lane and I spent a lot of time going to sports. I encouraged Lane to try almost anything. And by that, I mean we went from baseball to riding calves, sheep calves, junior bulls. We're coming back from rodeo one day, and Lane says, would you be mad if I didn't want to ride bulls? I said, no. I would be relieved. For those of you that don't know, I was a professional bullfighter. And so for Lane, he saw a lot of what went on at a very young age. But for me, people are like, well, is Lane going to fight bulls? I'm like, absolutely not. I know what the road was. I knew what it did to you and your body and life, and that wasn't going to happen. So Lane and I quickly learned that we liked the Broncos. I pushed on him enough. He figured out he liked the Broncos as well. No Steelers. So Lane and I made the annual trek starting at 8 years old for Lane to Denver, Colorado for the Denver Bronco games. A buddy of mine had some tickets. We go to a game. Well, we get there 2.5 hours before the game ever begins. We are like two kids in a candy store. I had never been to a game. Lane had never been to a game. And we are looking at every aspect of this stadium you can go to. From as far down as they let us in the basement level, all the way to the top floor. Lane, we walked by this little kiosk, and it said, sign up for Denver Bronco tickets. And Lane says, we should sign up, Dad. I said, dude, you are going to be 45 years old by the time we see those tickets. You're not going to sign up? No. So Lane signs up. 3 years later, I get a call from the Denver Broncos. You have got tickets to the Denver Broncos, Lane. I said, can I take a message? This is his father right now. And I need to know what this all means. She says, well, you can get tickets. We were in the very last row of the Denver Broncos Stadium, looking down. If you've ever seen, if any of you are driving tomorrow, look at the Broncos Stadium. There's a big horse on one end, and then we are on the other end, looking down at the big horse. We're as high as you could go. Lane and one of his friends went with us. One time we took Gayleen. She's like, my God, you can see the pilot's eyes as they're flying over. Yep, but we have Denver Broncos tickets. So, the Bronco tickets are not cheap. We all know how sports are. You know the expensive part of coming to Denver every year? Yes. Dave and Buster's. Lane's like, let's go to Dave and Buster's sometime. Sure. No dad's gonna say no. I spent more money at Dave and Buster's in one night, be it me and Lane, or Lane and a couple of buddies. We had a festive time. And do you remember, you can't put a price on a good time. I can put a price on a good time, guys. Wow. But we had a great time. Through my rodeo travels, my announcing travels, all that, Lane was always able to come with me to at least one event a year. Kind of a father-son trip, if you will. He's about 11 years old, and he said, I opened my calendar, and he goes, I want to go to Boise State. Got to go to Boise with you. They're my favorite college football team. I'm like, Boise State? Well, they were the Broncos, and they had a blue turf field. So we go, Lane, well, I had to go out a day early to announce. So Lane comes back, Lane comes from South Dakota on a plane at basically 11 years old. His mother put him on a plane. He gets to Denver, then to Salt Lake, then to Boise. And I had to pick him up. And I said, call him when he's in Denver, find the gate you're going to, and we'll get there. We'll get you to where you're supposed to be. So Lane, one of the best feelings of my life at that point was Lane walking down the runway that he'd gotten into Salt Lake. I guess I should say Salt Lake because that's where we were. And then we drove to Boise. And I was like, oh, he made it. So we go to the stadium. We get to the stadium. Lane's like, well, I want to go inside and see it. This thing's locked up tighter than a wedge, dude. We ain't getting in there. Well, let's go around to the other side. Can't say no as a father, right? So we go around the other side. There's a construction site there. There's a gate open. Let's go in. Sure. We go in. We walk right in like we own the place. There's a guy up about 2 stories up above us. Hey, you guys get out of here. Snap, snap, snap. We got some shots laying on the blue turf. Father of the Year award that year. Great deal. Well, the next thing I'm going to tell you was Lane was a very naturally gifted athlete. I know every dad thinks he's got the greatest kid out there. I've seen it many times in sports. I've seen a lot of great kids out there in sports. But Lane had this natural gift to be good at whatever he tried. But he also had the determination to put that time in to be the best. He told me when he started skiing at 12 years old, he said, I want to be the best at Terry Peak by the time I'm a senior in high school. Well, we're watching kids do some pretty gnarly tricks, you know? And I'm like, those are pretty lofty expectations and goals, but I said, I'm glad you have them. Work at it, buddy, and see what happens. Lane didn't make it as the best skier. His senior year, he did it his junior year. I was proud. It was cool. Lane, all the hours, all the money, the miles and the memories, I'd do them all again. I love you and I'm proud of you. There's some people that aren't here tonight. They've been mentioned a little bit. We'll mention them again. Grandpa and Grandma Quinn, Grandpa Bob, Grandpa and Grandma Nygren. They're all looking down at you right now. And they are beaming with pride. Congratulations on marrying the woman you love. And in your words, you hit the jump, you executed the trick, and you nailed the landing. Good work, my friend. Congratulations. Miranda. Mrs. Quinn. The support and happiness that you have showed and given to Lane and shared with Lane has been fun for us all to watch. I know a lot of you guys have known Lane or Miranda for a long time, and now some of you have known them as a couple for quite a while. Some people are doctors as long as they've taken get to this point, but that's another story for another time. The hours of getting to know each other over the phone is probably what made this base of a good relationship really happen. And, you know, when they started talking and when they started spending time together, when Lane would talk to me a little bit about, yeah, I met this girl and this and that, I've known her for a while, but this, you know, and, you know, stuff, they give you that story and they give you about 20% of the 100% you'd like, but you go, yeah, she must be all right. Then I met, you know, Miranda, and then I got to know one night, Gretchen and Barth were there in Rapid City. I happened to be rolling through, got to meet these guys, and, you know, I'm like, they seemed like pretty good people. And Lane was always smiling. He was in a good mood. He loved the base he was laying down. And it was really special to see. Well, seeing that love flourish has been really neat for all of us to see, and obviously led us to here today. But one thing I got to tell you about Miranda is she's got some things she says. Some of you probably have heard them. But those of you who have not, I'm here to enlighten you. We call Miranda-isms. Lane would say something might be a little derogatory, and she'd say, well, that's a black pot. And Lane would laugh and say, no, that's the pot calling the kettle black. Here's another one. I have sorority over the other workers. That's way above my pay raise. I don't make this stuff up. I live my life very wish-watery. But now, Miranda, it's time to move in together, get a dog. Wait, we've already done that. No, what's not done is the life you're starting here today. Be considerate, be kind and loving, and love one another every day. It's not going to always be easy, but it will be worth it. Welcome to the family, Mrs. Quinn.
Hello? Yes! Hello. So I'm Amelia. I'm Erin. And we're just, we put a few words together, and you know, it's hard to, sorry. It's hard to even begin to describe the love that we feel for you too. But we gathered some words in hopes of being able to convey how special you are to us. We know that love is patient and love is kind, yet the definition of love is very hard to pinpoint, which making it complex. Love can be defined as a willingness to prioritize another's well-being or happiness above your own. Or it can be defined as an extreme feeling of attachment, affection, and need. There are thousands of words that describe love and the emotions associated with it. We each have our own definition of love, which makes love so special. It becomes something that is ours, that no one can take away or steal. Love is always present, surrounding us, guiding, growing, and teaching us. Miranda, you have shown us love and how to love from the very beginning. You've taught us to never forget how to love, never be afraid to receive it, and to recognize that love has no barriers. Despite the hardships that come with life, you've always been there for us, offering your love for us. You've always taken the time to listen and to help us through life battles. You've always shown support and guidance. You are selfless, generous, giving, and always present. And you've become our definition of love. Lane, we know it wasn't easy joining a family of 4 girls, but we are so grateful that you did. You've been like a brother to us. You've listened to our struggles, given great level-headed advice when needed, helped me out with school assignments, including the recommendation letter. Your love and presence has never wavered, and we're so lucky to have you in our lives. The love you show and give Miranda, and all of us, especially Chains, who couldn't be here tonight, is so special and beyond words. Thank you for making our sister so happy and giving her never-ending love. We're so excited for you to join us girls, and our dad, of course. And we love you so much. Oh, I don't have a glass. Well, I can't find the glass. Now, let's raise a glass and toast to love. Brandon, Lane, we love you so much. And we can't wait to see what this new chapter holds for both of you. Cheers.